we are discussing plenum-rated mass-loaded barrier, which is a new product launch for Kinetics noise control. I am Kelly Brown. I am a product and marketing manager for Kinetics noise control. And this is a product we're really excited about because we've had quite a few requests for it over the years in a lot of different divisions of our company. So we now offer a plenum-rated mass-loaded barrier. It passes strict ASTM E84 testing and has superior sound isolation. So today we're going to go through what is a plenum space, what is the testing required for products within that plenum space, how can it be used, and just the general product offering. So a little bit of semantics here that we need to go over: a plenum space versus a plenum air return. A plenum space is the area that's kind of at the top of any floor. Usually there's mechanical, electrical, and HVAC equipment in that space. Oftentimes in commercial buildings, it is what is above the drop ceiling. A plenum air return is the space that is used by the HVAC system to actually move air around. So instead of having a return air duct, there is the entire space is used in that HVAC system. There's often equipment up in that space. So the reason that matters is kind of where the requirements show up in code, and the different needs that are within those spaces and how our product solves those issues. Why does something plenum rated matter? So class A in the ASTM E84 is sufficient for most surfaces in a room, but because plenum spaces are so much more interconnected in a building, they demand far lower smoke development levels. So during a fire, that smoke spread throughout the building is what's going to cause a quicker movement throughout the spaces and what's going to be really problematic. So the lower smoke that you can have, the better safety that the occupants will have in a catastrophe. So what is plenum rating? The plenum rating is not another rating system within ASTM E84. It's not like a new classification system. It is just a tighter, more strict standard within Class A. So everything about the fire class system within ASTM E84 is still exactly the same, but International Building Code and International Mechanical Code call for a plenum rating, which what that is a flame spread between 0 and 25, which is the same as our Class A rating, and then a smoke development between 0 and 50. As you can see, Class A, B, and C all have a smoke development between 0 and 450. So that smoke development really is the key thing in what would make something plenum rated compared to Class A rated. So within code, International Mechanical Code 602.2, this first area is talking about an air plenum, return plenum, showing what's highlighted is the flame spread shouldn't be more than 25, smoke development shouldn't be more than 50. Within 602.2, there are some exceptions. Another way in which you could use our product would be to wrap or line duct, and there's tape included. And so that would be exception number 2. When you go into that section, we still have that there should be a smoke development of less than 50 and flame spread of 25 or less within that area of code. International Building Code, specifically 2801.1, points back to International Mechanical Code 602.2. And then area 803, interior walls and ceilings, points back to 604. So again, they're kind of saying keep going back up to that under 25 and under 50. And then NFPA 90A and B 4.3 again calls back to the under 25 and under 50. So why mass loaded? We know what plenum is, we know what the plenum rating is, but why mass loaded vinyl? So adding mass adds weight and reduces duct wall vibration and rattling. So with light gauge duct work, that's very helpful. And then it's mass loaded, so the material is extremely dense, which means that sound is not transmitting through that material nearly as easily. So with these two areas, specifically when you use it as duct lagging, it makes it so that that sound is kind of trapped within the duct walls, and it's not getting into the spaces. So how can we use the product? Again, it's very, it can be very widely used. So here's just a couple examples. Again, plenum rated is going to be needed in most ceiling applications, and Class A is going to be needed in most wall applications. But anywhere where you're blocking sound from one area to another. So crosstalk is a good example. Between offices, between the hall and an exam room, between the hall and a hotel room, I would guess that most of us have been in the situation where you can hear every single word coming out of the person's mouth in the hotel room next to you or in the exam room next to you. This is a perfect way to use this product to block off that sound. And then between HVAC equipment and interior spaces, again, keep that loud equipment sound out of the building. It can be used as acoustical curtains, barriers between equipment rooms and occupied spaces, and then converting existing buildings into new tenant types instead of having to do major construction and tearing down walls and things like that. There's a potential that this could be a great solution to upgrade a building. All right, so the product offering. We have two fire ratings, plenum rated. In the name, it will say PR first and then the rest of the name of the product, or Class A. We have two densities. The first is 1 pound per square foot, that's noted as 100, or 2 pound per square foot, noted as 200. And then face material, we have a foil face, which is noted as AL, and then a foil face with quilt, which is known as ALQ. Along with our plenum barriers that are being launched, we are relaunching our Class A ALQ. This product has a note that is calculated. We are actively getting testing for this product again. We updated our manufacturing process and our glue, and so we're updating that testing. We fully expect it to pass because our plenum rated one passed. So, but that information will be up on the website in the next few weeks. But a couple things to note here when you see our full lineup of products. Again, PR is our plenum rated products. Our ALQ products and our 2 pound, so 200 products are all going to be 30 feet. Our 1 pound products are going to be 60 feet. We have both Class A and plenum rating. There is a foil face or a bare face. And then we have the decoupler, which is that fiberglass, quilted fiberglass. All right, so some key benefits. We have heard multiple times from HVAC engineers, mechanical engineers, architects that they like the design potential and the layout potential of plenum air returns, but they're really hard to mitigate the sound. We have been able to create a product that gives those design options back in without sacrificing unwanted sound transmission throughout the spaces. Kinetics has the widest range of Class A and plenum-rated sound barriers, and available on our website is our fire testing for the products for ASTM E84, sound transition loss, ASTM E90, installation instructions. All of our testing is done in the approved installation method, and then the specifications for the product. All right, that is all I have for you right now. Thank you so much for your time, and feel free to reach out.